guys, so I'm back, at least for the time being. I just finished a 6-day stint in the hospital doing chemo, and I feel pretty good. I mean, I guess considering I'm out here in the shop at least. But before I went to chemo, I was using this little dude. Actually, it was during the video I made of the big feather. The muffler vibrated off. Now, I can't blame Holzfforma for that, because at one point in time I took the muffler off to look at the piston in there and to see if there was any modifications I could make to the muffler. And there weren't really any modifications I could make, but when I put it back on, apparently I didn't get the bolts tight, because in the process of using it, it vibrated loose, both the nuts fell away, both the washers fell away, the muffler came loose, it ripped the gasket, and the saw would not run right. And it took me a second to figure out what was going on, so I saw the muffler hanging off of it. And I'm like, okay, time to order a new muffler. So, I ordered it like at the beginning of December, but right now, because of the holidays, shipping has been really slow, and this came in while I was in the hospital. So I have the gaskets, the plate that goes in front of the gaskets, the muffler, the bolts, and the little baffle plate that goes on the muffler, which I may or may not use. I haven't quite decided that yet. But they didn't send nuts with the damn thing. They sent me bolts, but no nuts. They sent me a muffler, no nuts to pull it on with. So I don't know what the heck those guys are thinking, but that's kind of ridiculous. So I went to the local store, and for another $2, granted now, all this with shipping was like $8. It's really inexpensive. If I had bought this locally, it would have been probably $35. So spending $2 on nuts and lock washers, not a big deal. So there's that. I did have to find metric nuts, and that did take me a minute, but anyway. So in the meantime, while I was waiting for the parts to come in and I still needed to use the saw, I went and I bought some bolts and nuts and put it back on, but the gasket's ripped, so I have to replace the gasket. I may use the same muffler. I don't know, this one's pretty nice. I'm going to compare the two, and then I'll use the one that I think is going to be the better of the two. This one seems bigger, but I don't know. So anyway, with that, we'll just go ahead and get right into it. The first thing to do is get this old one off, and of course I tightened the piss out of it, and that was hard to do because these bolts are not made for this saw, and so they spin at the back side once they get to a certain point. And I had to kind of like tweak the muffler to hold them in place while I tighten them down. So I'll probably have to do that to get them off too. Oh, that one's coming. Alright. This is the one I have more trouble with. So I'm just pulling the muffler to one side to put pressure on the bolt to keep it from turning while I go ahead and hopefully get this darn thing loosened. And that is not working. Or is it? Okay, let's try putting pressure the other way. Nope, it's still turning that down. See, this is the downside of rigging something so you can keep using it without the proper parts. Well, if I'd known it was going to be this tedious, I would have skipped this part and just had it off before I even started the video. Which I may just clip part of this and shorten the process, because I'm sure you don't want to see me sit here and struggle with a damn bolt for 20 frickin' minutes. Ah. Let's see here. There is another way. Okay, it took me a minute to find an arbor for the damn cutoff wheel. I'm going to cut a slot in the end of that bolt and then use this little tiny screwdriver and the wrench and see if I can get it off that way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Oh, wait a minute, Will's not here. Ha! Oh, sorry. I do have a friend named Will. That should do it. No, I can't see what the heck I'm doing. Let me get this out of the way. And get my glasses on. Not deep enough. All right. Gotta hold you still, don't I? Push come to shove, I'll cut the nut clean off of there. Which is exactly what I may end up doing here. Yep. It's going to be an asshole. I'm going to be a bigger one. There, it's off. Finally. So as you can tell, these are just regular bolts. Actually, they were just threaded bolts, and I put a nut on one end and messed up the threads so it couldn't come off, and then stuck them on there. And this one was turning and turning and turning, so that wasn't helping me much. But there's what was left of the gasket, and why I decided to go ahead and replace everything. Because the gasket's supposed to look like this here. I'd say there's a difference, wouldn't you? Hoping that's on frame. Alright, so now, see, I don't think there's anything wrong with this muffler, but by looking at it, there is more restriction on this muffler than there is on this one. So I think I'm going to go with the new one, which is less restricted. Got a new one of these too. I could go get a knife, but hell, they're just plastic packages. And we'll have to take that blue plastic off of there because we don't need that melting up in there. That would be bad. and stinky. Alright, so we got those two parts. Maybe that goes that way. Goes that way. Alright. So we got gasket, heat shield, we need the bolts. These are the proper mounting bolts for it. As I said, the old ones disappeared. And these lock in so they don't turn, so I don't have the problem I just had. The others had hex heads, and these are square heads. Alright. Put my gasket up in there. Actually, you probably ought to clean that a little bit first, eh? Because it's dirty from me running it with a broken gasket. Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, let me get some stuff together to do that. Now this is just charcoal lighter fluid, which is essentially the same thing as paint thinner. And it should break down the crap that's up in here. Oh yeah, wiping it right out. Nice and shiny now. I'm assuming you can see that. Alright, now we'll put these bolts back in there, get our gasket in, and proceed. Now, technically, there is a flash suppressor or spark arrestor or whatever you would like to call it that goes onto the outside of this thing. This is kind of a tricky part here, by the way. Well, it would help if I... What in the world? Okay guys, I don't think I'm going to get to use this muffler. Ha! They sent me the wrong damn muffler. I have to have a talk with him, guys. Do we see the issue here? See how the bolts are here and here? And on this one, they're here and here. That don't work. That is not the way this saw was made. Nice. So I guess we're using this muffler. But if that's the case, I think I'm going to drill the baffle out in it and make it a little bit more pop. What do you think, guys? Well, I'm not going to post this video and then wait for your answer. I'm just going to do it. Let's see, that would mean a drill and a drill bit, which is on the other side of the room. Give me just a sec. Yep, there we go. So let's that looks like a good size. I love how I'm so scientific about it. This looks good. There's one. There's two. Oh, I'd really like to bust out those holes in the bottom. How can I do that? I don't think I can get the angle I would need without tearing up the opening. Nope. I made a good mess of it in there. So we'll clean this thing up. It's a little beat up from getting jostled around. I think we'll be okay. Ooh. That'll help too. Alright, so we'll put this one back on here. I really don't think I ordered the wrong muffler. I ordered it for the 025, which this is a clone of, so they do that now and then. My sister is here. She just let me know there's a chicken outside the fence. It's like, there's two of them that can jump the fence, so.
So I tried to put it back.
Well, I blocked my bolt hole. Now I gotta re-drill it. I gotta find the right side of the drill to re-drill it. Which is here. I can see it. Stay reach it. Actually, that's too small. There we go. Sorry it's taking so long, guys, but you know, the adventures in playing with saws and deciding to do things that really weren't meant to be done. Alright. Try this again. There's the lower one. There's the upper one. I had it upside down. There's the lower one. There's the upper one. And voila! Look at that! Finally. So I guess I don't need this, which went with that muffler. Yeah, I'm going to have to give them guys a hard time. My Holzfforma buddies are slacking on me here. That one went right on. The other one's kind of being a bear. I put both of these nuts onto the bolts at the store just to be sure. So I know this is right. Just got to get it to line up with the damn threads. Oh, my life, I tell you guys. If it ain't the doctors trying to kill me with chemotherapy, then it's the saw trying to kill me with aggravation. The doctors aren't trying to kill me, but sure feels that way when you're in there. Oh my God. I could not keep food down. They had me on stuff to help me keep from vomiting, but it still happened. There we go. Alright, and this time I've got lock washers on the thing, which that was not on it last time. So this should no longer be an issue with this saw. It's a rather gloomy day outside, but I'm still going to take it out right behind the shop here and start it up to make sure everything's kosher. Let you know it worked. Let you see it work. I'll take you out with me. By saying take you out with me, I mean the cameras. Or a camera, at least. And there we go. We're all back together with the original muffler. Because the dumbasses sent me the wrong muffler. You hear that, Daniel? Kai? Whatever your name is? This is, yeah, not the right muffler. It is exactly the opposite on the bolt holes. I mean, I would have to turn this thing around this way to fit it on there, and then it's not going in there. No matter how you... Well, I guess it would go that way. But then there's no holes at the front. I mean, they're putting the exhaust right back into the, yeah, housing. Melt everything. Sure. No, I don't think so. Alright, so you might have noticed that the bar on this thing is new. This is a quarter tip bar, and I'm running 3/8 chain on it. I wish I had a full comp chain, but I think this is actually maybe a full comp chain. I'm just wishing that I had one that had a tooth on every link rather than every other link, because it would cut a lot smoother when carving. But I don't have that, and if I can find one, I will. If you guys know where I can get a chain that has a tooth on every single link, please drop me a comment or drop me an email even to let me know where I can pick it up, because I would love to have a 14-inch chain for this that is got a tooth on every single link. I suppose it would be a carving chain, because I'm really thinking they call this a full comp. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the chain part of it. I just know if it cuts or if it doesn't. And this one does cut, don't get me wrong. But let's put this back on, and we'll take it outside and start it up and see how it sounds. Alright. So let's give it a shot. There we go. It works. Sounds pretty good too. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I will try to get one more out before I go back in for chemo, which is like the 27th or something like that of this month. And then, well, we'll do what we can from there. All right? See you later. Wish me luck.